Liberty Retakers. It is December 19th, 2018, and I really hate to have to bring up a subject like this so close to our Lord's birthday. Well, anyway, let's get to it. I heard that on the news in New York City, a gay bar called the $3 bill. Get that? Queer as a $3 bill? Uh-huh. There was a I think it was 11-year-old boy who was up on stage dancing to the patrons in drag. I believe he was doing a Gwen Stefani look-alike and doing an act. Now, I don't care what adults do, but tell me how this is not child exploitation, child endangerment. I mean, I could see the cops swooping right in if you had an 11-year-old girl dancing on a stage with a bar room full of men, and I would not blame them. Now, from what I understand, the New York Police Department is afraid to act on this because of the mayor, because he's a leftist scumbag that would condone this kind of behavior. And if you look at him, he is a big piece of shit. And I believe he's probably condones a lot worse. Well, anyway, even besides that, if you start putting things together, like here, Lacey Township, New Jersey, there's a couple of kids that were served a 5-day in-school suspension for posing at a shooting range with weapons. Off-school property, not during school hours, and the school was claiming that they have discretion even during these hours, and that's dangerous behavior, and they suspended them. Now, the only reason they changed that policy is because they were threatened with a massive lawsuit by one of these gun advocacy groups, and I don't know which, so I'm not going to mention any. But they reversed their course on that. Now, add things like that, and what do they tell you? Men are bad, men are evil. What do they say? What do they call it? Toxicity. I know they call it male toxicity or masculine toxicity. So they tell us men are bad, men are evil, men are this, men are that. But at the same time, these leftists tell us that the women have to do everything men do. Now, I'll tell you what. The females in our society play a very important role. By no means do I put them as second class or beneath me. Because just as males, without the females, our society does not go on. So when you take to even the women that stay home moms, that is the most important thing. You have to raise the next generation. That's not easy. Especially with the pressures from outside, especially the leftists. Now these same leftists that want to lower standards. Like now they're saying, I forget what fire departments have to be 50% female now that they're proposing. And they're going to lower standards. I think in New York City there's a woman that actually failed the physical. She's no way fit to be a fireman. But they're going to pass her and graduate her to be a fireman anyway because they need the women. So you're putting lives at risk for people that aren't physically fit to do the job. Now, I tell you what, I give all the credit in the world to firemen. I don't want to be a fireman. That's a rough, gritty, nasty job. And females are lucky they don't have to be subject to some of the things that males have to do. But they want to. Anyway, that's nor here or there. Now, what I want to get to is things that males do that separate them and make them male is always considered evil and barbaric and all this other negative terms. But yet, like I said, they want the females to do these things. Now, look at what kids are doing now. Look what's accepted as the males. They can dress in drag, wear makeup, go dancing around in front of homosexuals. And these are the leftists. So I think what's happening is they're teaching the females to do all the male jobs because somebody's going to have to do them. Because the same leftists, all they're doing is teaching the males how to wear dresses and suck cock. And you got to understand, that's where these leftist Democrats are going. They're teaching our young males basically to be females, teaching the females to be males. But not intermingle with the opposite sex. I don't understand how 2% of the population is controlling 98% of the population. That's where I'm not getting it. We should be stomping out these ideals, saying, if that's the way you are, then fine, that's the way you are. You do not push it on other people. Let the children be children. That's why the Cub Scouts are now just the Scouts, because the women have to be involved. How many boys are going in to be brownies? You see what I mean? So, the women are going to be the providers, the men are going to suck dick, and society's going to end. So that's what I mean. So close to Christmas, we have to get involved in this bullshit. But look at your school itinerary. I guarantee it, except for maybe football, you're not going to see many activities that are male inclusive. You're not going to see shooting. I mean, there was a time in the 50s and 60s in New York City, the kids would take their rifles on the subway after target practice. I think there was one school that actually had a range in their basement. So all that stuff's going away. And they sit there and tell us, taking our children out to shoot is bad. That's what these leftists really fear. They want those guns. They are so scared. See, these leftists are the world pussies. And they really need us. They need those guns. Because if they can get them guns from us, then they think they could step on our necks. But I tell you what, these guys are such pussies. I think a sharpened pencil, I can get them to run away. Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to get at. You got to look at your school curriculum, see what these people are up to. Because I guarantee it, they're going to feminize your children. They're going to feminize your sons, and they're going to masculinize your daughters, and they're going to screw their fucking heads up, and they're not going to know where they're at by the time they reach college, and those leftist professors get a hold of them. Forget about it. Their brains are going to fucking explode. They're going to be sniveling idiots that don't know their friggin' name. They're going to be offended by every fucking thing, and they're going to need their safe space with their coloring books and kitties. Is that what you want for your children? Better get a grip. You better see the reality here. Because it's honest. It's honest. It's not how to prevent it. It's how to get it off us. That's what we have to deal with. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Have a good night.
We're taking liberty, motherfucker! Gonna do on the hill.